Guys, doing a little something different today. Seems to be the theme for 2024 anyway. So deer season here, it's the middle of February currently. Deer season ended about a week ago. This video is probably going to be 4 weeks out because I've got other stuff lined up. But at any rate, currently, it's the end of deer season. We'll just say that. The food sources here this past fall was really dry. So acorns, there were deer eating acorns like the first week of January because they just hadn't rotted because there wasn't any standing water. Corn, same deal. Like there was just corn in the field that the deer could just go out and eat all the way through deer season. Super weird year, really hard to hunt because you couldn't attract deer in because there was food everywhere. So that's mainly why I haven't done like any baiting at all. Salt licks, if you saw that video, that's basically kind of what I did, and it worked a little, I don't know. But it did rain pretty good that first week of January. It's been really wet, and finally I feel like we're going to be able to do some successful baiting. Unfortunately, season's over. But so what I've got here is a 50-pound bag of goat sweet feed. And I chose that because the internet says that deer don't have gallbladders, so they can't handle a high-fat diet. And this happened to be the lowest fat percentage that Tractor Supply had. It was like 3% fat. It was 12 or 12.5% protein. So hopefully all my deer that have been starving for the last 3 weeks will come and be like, yeah, and get something more than just filler, basically. But to that, I want to add some ivermectin. Okay, so last year, or I guess season before last now, my nephew did shoot a deer, and it was full of bot flies, which is like horsefly larvae, I guess, or deer fly larvae. Regardless, they're disgusting, and is all in the sinuses, is everywhere. It's gross. I don't want that anymore. And ivermectin happens to be not only a wormer, but a boticide, meaning that it kills bots. Studies have also shown that it might actually kill fleas and ticks, which is just an added bonus. But basically, I'm trying to take the cheapest, most effective route possible to get rid of as many parasites at once as I can. This box was like $16 maybe, somewhere in that neighborhood, and it says that it treats 1,500 pounds of animals. So I mean, we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna use about half of this tube today. I'll show you how I'm gonna put that together and hopefully get everything to stick to this sweet feed. Okay, so luckily this has little graduations on it, so it kind of tells you how much you've used out of this syringe. And then I've just got an old milk jug that I've got probably 1.5 pints or so of water mixed in, and then I'm going to put half of this syringe in. Hopefully we'll see how that goes. Oh, hey, guess what? I'm actually putting quite a bit more than half because that thing moves like crazy easy. So I put about 2/3 of that in, and we're just going to give that a shake and get it mixed up. Yeah, that looks like dewormer to me. I mean, I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're learning together. Okay, so the next thing I do, because I don't know how attracted to this sweet feed the deer are going to be, is I got some molasses, and not just like the crap that you could buy at Walmart for like $2. Like, this is legit molasses, and in my mind, that makes a difference. Just poked a little hole in it, and I'm going to put probably 3 or 4 tablespoons of that in this and just hope to get that aroma going in that sweet feed, because I know that deer are attracted to molasses. Like, I say I know that. I've seen videos where deer are attracted to molasses, so that's what I'm trying to replicate here. Yeah, that seems good to me. Like I said, that was probably 3 tablespoons or so, and it's all like brown water and stuff. So it ideally probably needs to sit on this sweet feed like for hours. I'm gonna set it on there for about 30 minutes because that's how long it's gonna take me to get it mixed up and get back to my camera. But yeah, this isn't gonna work on a gravity feed or anything because when those pellets kind of swell up from the moisture, they'd clog that up. So I'm gonna wind up just dumping this on the ground. Probably not super deal. And I'm using sweet feed instead of corn because I usually just wind up feeding possums and raccoons, which they're probably going to hit this. Let's be honest. I'm just going to have like really healthy possums and raccoons. But if by chance I wind up helping my deer population, great. I'm out like $30 and potentially I'm putting more meat in my freezer when I pull the trigger and possibly more antlers on my wall when I pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get this in a bucket and get this shook around. We'll pick up from there. I'd like to say that I feel really good because I pulled that off the first time and in the right direction, but it had this little cheater bar on there. If you ever run into that situation and you don't pull it off the first time and you're like, man, that really sucks, here's a little cheat code for you. It's just a pocket knife. Just use a pocket knife. For those of you that don't know what sweet feed is, it's just like pelletized. You probably can't see that really good, but anyway, it's pelletized feed that's got supplements and junk in it. So yeah, that's what I'm using here. So I've put out just a little bit more than half of that bucket in this spot over here where I've got my cell phone camera. I moved my camera just a little bit because this field is like kind of still standing in water where it's been raining. I had my camera right over in here, which means that I would have had to put the feed like right in here to really get good pictures of it. And I basically moved my camera right to the edge of the water here, so it's shouldn't stand in water there based on how much water is hanging out here. But at any rate, it is going to be like 4 weeks before I get this video up. So between now and when I'm editing this, if I get a bunch of pictures, I'll probably roll those in here and keep y'all updated. But yeah, like I said, main goal here is basically just to keep all the parasites off the deer in this property that I possibly can. And it's not a ton of effort to just add a little bit of stuff to the feed that you're already throwing out. And hopefully, since there's not a ton of other food sources right now, they will come to this. I did see several tracks in this field walking in, so I've got pretty high hopes that maybe I'll start getting some pictures on this pile. I'm gonna go dump the rest of this out in front of another camera, and we'll holler at y'all later. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed.